Hello. Hello. My name is Patti Harju. I teach at St. Stephen's School. I'm from Grand Rapids, Michigan. And if you're from Michigan, you know we put the hand up and point to where we are. So I'm from over there, north. Now I did a presentation yesterday and forgot to bring my speakers. And of course, didn't have the sound system. Today I have my speakers, but don't need them. So that's how it always works. I'm going to share some of my favorite tools for digital storytelling for helping your kids publish. I think it goes along with what Aaron Klein was talking about, giving those students a voice, and now this is a way to get that voice out there and heard so that others, finding a way for that authentic audience. Down here, and I'll share this, ststech.wikispaces.com. That's the tech wiki where my classroom, everything I do with my class, I should probably tell you about myself. I teach at St. Stephen's School. It's a preschool through 8 Catholic school up in Grand Rapids. For the past 2 years, I've been morning in the tech lab, afternoon in the second grade. And prior to that, I was second grade for more than 20 years. I found an excellent teaching partner so that it works. She does the morning, all the reading, language arts, and I do the science, math, and religion in the afternoon, and then I'm, again, in computer lab in the morning. All right, and why do we write, why do we publish? Again, giving students the voice, literacy across the curriculum, gives kids a chance to express their ideas, their opinions. The authentic audience for me is always the big piece. They're not just creating this little story to put up in the hallway so parents can visit at conferences and nod and look at and read, but they are creating it, they're putting on their blog, they're sharing it with each other. The thing I used to do when my kids would make those great reports is we'd quickly get them all together and out in the hall and then move on. I'd always kind of forget that sharing and commenting part because we had to go on to the next activity. So now when they're on the blog, they like to go into the computer lab and, hey, can we comment on each other's blog? I'm thinking, can you go and read your friend's work and give a comment? That's fun to them. So, and then I can send a link out on Twitter, and other teachers will, I'll go there, another teacher, and it was very cute. Teacher in New Zealand came and commented on all my kids' blogs. So, we have relationships. So we know there's wonderful reasons we know we need to do it. This is just a fun example of a little, and all of their work is housed on their blog. This was Julie in second grade. We just called these Just a Glimpse, very simple story made with Imovie. She didn't have her capitals there, but.
I'm someone who loves science, puppies, and anything cute. I like to make up recipes. I'm good at roller skating and ice skating. I like to play on the computer.
That's her first picture. Should be another one.
I love my Mexican scarf. Sometimes I pretend it's a parachute and I'm a secret agent.
That's my favorite part with her.
My guitar can sing a song by itself. It doesn't really do any tunes like when you strum it, it only does one song. I like to pray in church. I like to sing. When I sing in church, I feel graceful.
Whoops. And of course, in iMovie, they have to add all that music. That was Julie. This was a second grade project. We called it A Glimpse of Me. They had 4 pictures. This we created, in the classroom, art. They created the religion picture on the computer. And then the other 2 pictures were items they brought from home, anything. And then the kids that didn't bring an item, I took a picture of their backpack or something they had at school. And they just had to write a little, I gave them a little format just to kind of write about the item. Julie is special because when you read her writing said, I like to be a secret agent. I mean, the way she did it, and that's just the way she talks was the way she writes. She's another one that she would go into the lab and they were writing a story and she'd sit there and, Julie, what are you doing? Well, I really feel a song coming on. Okay, go ahead. So she was just adorable. So that's one example of one of the stories. We'll talk about iMovie a little later. This is another, whoops, I'm not very good at navigating through this. Hold on. This is using the Puppet Pals app. The first graders, whoops. Let's try that again. Maybe I didn't link it. I will show that later. I must not have linked that one. The first graders wrote, there's a video button there. Let's try it again. Oh, I put it right in there.
If I was 100 years old, I would take a nap and put curls in my hair. I would watch TV all day, and when my grandkids came over, they would wake me up. They tapped me so hard I fell on the floor. They left me on the floor. Then they left. When my 100-year-old friends...
Whoops, I'm going to stop that. That's what the Puppet Pals app. The first grade celebrate 100 Day, and last year they came dressed as if they were 100 years old. So this one came, the one this year that came with the walker had a little tissue box on it and a little basket and their bag. It's adorable. So they came and then they wrote stories about if they were 100 years old. And they just, we used the Puppet Pals app on the iPad, and I believe it's either HD or Director's Cut. It is the paid version that allows us to take the picture of them and make it a character. But it's very easy. So the kids just picked that up. They had their writing, and then it's just very funny to see how they moved it around and changed the background with it. But that's another example of how they are sharing their stories. All right, the first tool that I really am excited about is Storybird. How many of you have used Storybird? I love Storybird. Have you visited it lately? They've added a new feature where you can do the poetry. That used to be a paid feature. Storybird is easy. The kids, it's easy to set up class accounts. You get up to, I think, 30 accounts free. It might even be 35. The students are there to write. They're not worried about the artwork. They go in, there's all kinds of artwork for them to use. They pick a group of artwork and they start writing. And you really can use it in a number of ways. Initially, we would do the writing in the classroom. We would write, one year we had a little difficulty with the rules in second grade, so we brainstormed what the rules of second grade were, and then they took the list and then they made a Storybird. Very easy around Thanksgiving. We write things we're thankful for and then we make a Storybird. I have some examples this year too of kids that just now go in, pull up Storybird, pull up the pictures, and just start typing. And I tell them, don't worry about the spelling. We can always edit your spelling when we publish it. But it's just a great tool to foster that creativity. It's easy to publish. They used to make it so only the teacher had the sharing codes. Now the kids can share it right from their account. So they've made it easier. So let me see if this goes. Here is thanks. Oh, I got it. I'm updating my policy. Okay. Here's Thanksgiving. And can I make it full screen? Yeah, and it comes in a little book format. Here's the publish. And this is silent. There's no sound. It's just reading, or it's just writing the words. Thanksgiving. I'm thankful for basketball, mom, dad, and soccer. Basketball because I like to play with my sisters. Thankful for mom and dad because they love me. Thankful for soccer because I like to run around. Thankful for all of my blessings. And that's just a cute little book. The parents even can have the option if they want to order a printed one, but I'm kind of all about leaving it digital and not having it printed. All right, here's the other feature with Storybird, and I'll show you how you do the story too. And they have this poetry part where they pick one image, they have a set of words, and they can't really choose and pick the words they want, so it's even a little more difficult and they have to be creative. So here's a couple that the kids came up with. Strong guardian and friend, I adore you. I bring sparkling adventure, silently amazed are you. So just, it's set words that they have to drag over there, and I'll show you. So here's what the poetry feature looks like. They get a picture, and these words show up. And then the kids drag them. And if they're looking at these words and nothing is coming, there's a little reset button in the corner, and they can just get a different set of words. But they can't, they get all new set of words. They're starting over. If this picture isn't the picture they like, it can just click through the pictures in that group of artwork. But they're just dragging and dropping the words to just kind of see what they can create. And they are bright road, dreamy river, best friend. All right, and here are some more of the picture books, and I will show you how you set this up. Here's the rules of second grade. This little guy was my favorite. Ask permission to fly, that was his. No hitting, follow directions, be kind to everyone, stay in your sitting, don't blurt, that was a problem. Wait your turn, be a good friend, and don't poke, I like that. Ethan always, every time he does a story, he just adds a little something fun to it. And then, let's see. And then here's one about my mom. And I think we did these at Mother's, and then we do them for Father's Day. I have them write a Storybird about their mom, and then our Mother's Day gift is that they look on Storybird, we put it on their Kidblog, and Mom and Dad can read. My mom is special because she makes lunch for me. Mom is fun. Play games. My mom is nice. My mom's a great mom. It's a busy mom. Great mom because she makes me early for sports. Okay. All right, let me show you how. This is the screen you get when you go into the Storybird story. All of the pictures are there. And the kids it's very easy to navigate. There's a plus sign here, there's a minus sign. I do have to watch because they start adding plus plus and all of a sudden they have 30-page Storybird. So I try and tell them initially like 5 or 10. And then they drag the picture and they can make it so that's just a whole picture if they don't have words for that scene. Or the writing can be on the side, writing can be on the top, the bottom. They can only have one picture per frame. So it's limiting so that they're free to be creative. When they have too many choices about how to put the picture together, then they start, even when we have them on their Kidblog, when they can start playing with the font, then they're playing with the font instead of getting their words down. But here they can arrange the stories, and then they just click and they add the text. Okay. Let me show you in Storybird how you set that up. It really is easy. Well, and so you go to write, and then I get all of this artwork. And this is all licensed to use with Storybird. So I go through, and this is very popular, the little mice. And then I see a story I might like, or some pictures. And then it shows me all of the artwork. And if I think I like this, then I say I want to use this art. They used to only allow the picture book in the free one, but now the poem and long form is similar to a chapter book style. I have not explored that as well, but I think it would just allow a lot more text. So I'll do picture book, and then all of the pictures load, and then I add a cover. I click on cover, choose my cover, my name, title. In fact, it won't publish without a title. And there I can put my text right here, whatever my sentences are, and I want to add pages, I hit plus. I'll hit a couple of those, and then I just drag the pictures. So the kids can drag the pictures and have the story form as they're doing it. They can come with the preconceived story and try and find pictures to match it. If I don't like that picture, I drag another picture. I don't like it, I drag another. So it's just very easy. You click, add your pictures, type your text. And it does start them in the middle of the page. That's just where they type it. And then it saves it automatically to a point, but then when you hit publish, oh, it won't let me publish because it doesn't have a title. When you hit publish, and then you just hit publish, you can click that or not, and then it will give me, I could buy, I've never purchased one, and right here, and we'll show you when we go to Kidblog, here's the codes. Here's a link. You can email out or however you share things via a link. Or this lovely thing, I love embed codes. I probably couldn't write an embed code, but I know how to copy and I know how to paste them. And I know where to put them so that this can go on their Kidblog and then we can share it. Does anybody have any questions about Kidblog or have an experience to share with Kidblog that they've used? Teachers are always the quietest audience. All right. All right, let me show you. These are ones that just were done this week. This was a 4th grade student. And they did not come in with a story ahead of time. They wrote it in the lab. It doesn't seem to be opening. The lonely animals, maybe I can make it a little bigger. There were 2 animal friends, an owl, and there was a cat too. So she looked at the pictures and she came up with her story. One night the kitten went out and got lost. The owl went to find it. Well, it's very simple. The owl went to find another friend. Everybody was lonely. That's one. And then this one was written by a 4th or 5th grader. He's on this link. This is the Tech Wiki, by the way, where you'll find links. Let's see, 2 frogs. There he is. And he did quite a bit. So he did not have this written ahead of time. He found these pictures, and he just started writing the story. There were 2 frogs. The frogs were friends and loved to play hop the leader. Their names were Ted and Ed. Ted loved his cell phone, and Ed loved his tree, which was a house to him. And so, it's quite a bit of writing for the students to sit there, and he found the pictures and created the story. And I think he is still continuing that story. Storybird will save it, and you can continue and go back the next day and work on it. All right, I'll be happy to share some more examples of Storybird after, but let me go on. My other absolute favorite tool is Kidblog. Are there any Kidbloggers in here? Perfect. Kidblog is the easiest, and I looked for blogging tools before. We had a class blog on EduBlogs. I looked at some other platforms. What I like with Kidblog is you go to my Kidblog, my class, and here are the links to all of my kids right there on the side of the blog. So you click on their name, you go to their blog. It's not taking me to another site. I can keep an eye on them, I can keep track of them, and we're all in the same place. And here is our Kidblog right now. And now as we've blogged through the year, you can see tags. We start tagging our posts. I'll talk about that. And here are each of the kids. They haven't all uploaded an avatar, but you click on any of them and you will see their blog, what they have written. Here's something we embedded. He wrote about the 4th commandment. We were able to add something from EduCreations. I've also had kids, this was, once I was doing a presentation, and as soon as I pulled Kidblog up, the top post was my trip to the hospital. I thought, oh no, Mary Kate. Well, Mary Kate, and I quick read it, she had gone to the emergency room the night before, but all was fine. And I talked to her mom, and her mom said the minute she got home from the emergency room, she said, I have to put it on my Kidblog. I have to let people know what happened to me. So the other beautiful thing is the kids will go blog at home. They're doing this from home. It's not just a school activity. Kidblog is very simple. If you can type on a Word document, you can do everything you need to do in Kidblog, and it's even easier. The kids just log in, and I think I have here's the login screen. You give them a unique URL. So ours are kidblog.org / I think it's SSS2nd, and that's my class. They go to that URL, their name will come from a drop-down list, and then they put in their password that I've given them. They're logged in. They hit, I always do that. They hit new post, and then they add a title, and they add their post in the body right there. There aren't a lot of editing options. They can change the font, color, but not a ton. So they're not spending too much time there so that they can actually type and get it down. But then there'll be one kid the first kid that figures out how to change the font does go around and tell all the other kids how to do it. Okay. Oh my goodness, I'm not really good with this. Like here, just hold on. I keep clicking through accidentally. And here, we did a blog post. Here, I'll play this, not that you need to hear me explain, well, I don't know if you want to hear it. I do this for the kids for their direction. Oh, and then I got out of it.
Today's Kidblog post assignment is to write 3 truths and 1 lie.
So this is a direction, and this shows how they would log in.
Start as always by going.
And I put the links on the wiki, so they click on.
Log in, choose your name from the menu. Once you're logged in, you should see all blogs, my blog, and new blog
New
up
post.
here. New post. You should click on new post, and you want to give your post a title. The title of this blog post is 3 truths and 1 lie. And you can say about Emily or about who you are, or just leave it like that.
Okay, and I'm going to stop that. This is actually an example of me doing the in-flip thing in the classroom. I teach in the computer lab, and I taught the same group, had the same lesson. And I found that recording myself, giving them the directions, they will listen better than if I'm the live person. You have a question? Oh, this I either used Snagit or Camtasia. I did have a copy of Camtasia. I have also, though, used, now I couldn't do a screencast, but for my second graders, just showing a math like a whiteboard, I used EduCreations to just show how to do a math problem. This one I use Camtasia or Snagit. But they, and then they type, and then I show them how to tag, and then they just add a tag so that we can find their blog, so they're all grouped together, and then they hit publish. Okay. Anyone have a question? Oh, and there's other, this idea of the 3 truths and a lie comes from Discovery Ed. If you're just looking for a wealth of fun teaching ideas, look for the SOS, Spotlight on Strategies, through Discovery Ed. And this is one of their posts, 3 truths and a lie. And some of you may have done this before, because it's not unique to their idea. But there's other ideas to get kids writing. There's one like an A-E-I-O-U, so they're writing an adjective, and I can't think what the I, the O, and the U are. But if you want a wealth of ideas for just lessons, I would check out the SOS strategies. And here's the tags. So when we went on a field trip to the Critter Barn, then they all came and wrote about the Critter Barn, and then we tagged it Critter Barn. When we do write books or stories, or when we did those Glimpse of Me, we had all those digital stories, we had a tag here, so you can hit that, and you can find those. And then again, each of the kids can create, those they created, I think, with Sketch avatars. We've just used other little picture making things. I do try not to have their actual picture next to their name. I don't put last names. The funny thing is they'll go blog at home and their parents will upload a picture of them right to, Finley's blog, and here's Finley right there. So, I do my best at school, the parents already at home. And now sometimes when we do this kind of writing, sometimes it's scripted. Our first Kidblog post in 2nd grade, I gave them a template, and they fill it in, and then they put it on and then they go down, I edit it, and then they go down and they pop it on. So we do kind of start with that kind of formula. And here, this was a picture they created in art class, so then we used that as just the springboard for their writing. And then they were able to, sometimes we have Macs, so they'll just hold the picture up in front of their computer and take the picture, and then put it right on the blog. This one, I probably took the pictures and gave them to them, but she wrote, that was the springboard for her writing there. And again, here is another post from another person on winter. The beautiful thing with Kidblog, and then as your place maybe to put your digital stories and things, is the comment feature. Moms love to go, dads love to go and leave comments. I do have the comments set, so I have to approve them. And you can also set Kidblog up so that you have to approve every post. I mean, that's really up to you in your classroom. I don't approve posts. Posts go up. I can always delete them. I have not, and I've used Kidblog for, I would say, at least 4, 5, or 6 years. I've never had to take anybody's rights away from using Kidblog. And I don't really, sometimes kids, their comments, they think they're being helpful. You spelled that wrong. Well, I'm not going to publish or approve that comment. And we talk about being good commenters. But they like to get the comments from mom and dad. I can send the link to other educators so that they can go on and make comments. They like to go in the lab and make comments to each other, so it's another way for them to get feedback on their writing. It's very powerful. All right, and here is our Kidblog right now. And I actually did set, since I'm in the computer lab, I have set Kidblogs up for all of the grades. Obviously, preschool and kindergarten don't really do any blogging. Occasionally, we'll partner with the big kids, and they'll write something up there. 1st grade a little bit, but the other grades can go in, and once you teach them, I can say, post that on your blog. They can log in, they can do it. I will often give a Kidblog post as a homework assignment. Here's what I want you to write about. and you can post it from home, and if they don't have computer access or for whatever reason, they can bring it to school, and then we'll type it on their blog on Friday. But here are some of the, this is actually another kind of digital. I've used Telegami, but I understand now that it's, and I didn't update my app, but I think it's cost now for some of the features we used to get for free. But this was another way to publish their writing. They wrote letters about their community, and then I just took a picture of their letter.
Dear friend, my name is Kennedy. I live in Grand Rapids, Michigan. My community is called a suburban. Something I see in my community is art prize. Another place I visit in my city is a library when I am at church. My favorite.
And so that's just her reading, her writing. Telegami, there are other apps that we learned of yesterday that might be better for that. One was, I think, Yak It Kids was one someone had said, and I've used Chatterpix. All right, let me go on. Please let me know any questions. Oh, and you know, a lot of times just, now this, are you familiar with Kid President? Yes. I won't play his, but he's adorable. So he was a great inspiration for a Kidblog post. So we started our new year by watching 20 things we should say more often with Kid President, and then I just had them blog about, you know, what they think we should say more often or what their plans for the years were. So there's just a lot of different ways to inspire their writing. Here are some 8th graders. This is and I think these are their posts. This year will be more awesome because, and so they wrote why it will be more awesome. And then they copied the text and they put it in, this is Tagcedo. I think it's like T-A-X. It's a word cloud generator, different from Wordle because you can have shapes of the actual animals. And then they knew to just copy that and pop that up there as a visual. But actually did get 8th graders writing. Another way to quickly and easily publish student writing is a paper slide video. And it's so simple. You just need a camera, your phone, an iPad. And these are kindergartners who did creation stories, or any first grade. Whoops. I'm just not great with this. Let's see. Try that again.
On the first day, God created light and dark. On the second day, God created the sky and clouds. On the third day, God created plants and water. On the fourth day, God created sun and moon. On the fifth.
Okay, I think you get the gist there. The paper slides are very easy. Here's one, we had a theme of virtues at our school. And again, we just take the paper on the table, and I have a child now as the cameraman. They hold the iPad, and you have somebody that's moving the paper, and then whoever is speaking, and it can be the kids. I think this is one where they all took turns. When their paper was up, they talked.
Virtue, the habit of doing good.
Respect.
Oh, that's me, sorry.
Praying to God.
Respect looks like helping others.
Respect looks like help.
Respect looks like being nice. Respect looks like helping other people when they are sick or hurt.
And then there's another one that the 3rd graders did the same kind of activity. And there's actually another non-tech activity. I had to be out of the lab. Lab was being used for testing. I was still teaching the computer class, so in the 3rd grade class, they all illustrated the topic, and then I had the iPad, and then I would group them in groups of 4 or 5, and you know, and they would record their paper slide videos. And this is one the 2nd graders did on water conservation or water safety.
I think saving water is really important. I can conserve water by not keeping the hose on. Don't close the water. I can save water by not leaving the hose on. I can make sure all of the toilet isn't flushed when it doesn't I can conserve water by fixing the overflowing toilets.
Apparently it's a big problem.
I can turn the bus off when I need to.
Again, that was really simple way to publish their writing. And they could have their own story. They can have their story that they've written and illustrated. It can be the pictures, the words can be there. Doesn't have to be drawn pictures. They could put objects in there. I think it kind of goes with that, you know, those Common Craft videos where they would slide this is our very simple version of that. But a paper slide video is a very easy way to have the kids tell a story and quick record them. I showed you in the beginning one of the Puppet Pals, and here are some others that we did with the Puppet Pals app. I guess I'm checking the time there. The Puppet Pals app is very easy, and you can use it with, these are ones we use with the characters, so it was the paid version. The non-paid version has their own characters in, so you can use their characters. With these, the kids did is they drew their characters, and then you just take a picture of their drawing, and then you kind of go around it with your finger within the app just to cut out the piece of it that you want. So here is, and we've had more snow than this. This was first grade just playing with the app and having fun with the snow.
Hi, I'm Henry. My name is Katana. Want to go over the fence and slide? Yeah, sure.
And that's our playground.
Big snow angels?
This I love.
Sure.
Because when you pinch it, it makes it bigger and smaller. So they're making snow angels.
Let's go down again. Whee! Hey, it's almost time to end the show, so we gotta go.
And they were just talking. So this wasn't a scripted snow. Oops, did I stop it? This wasn't a scripted one. I had taken pictures of the snow. Now you have to plan this, you know, in Illinois and in Michigan, you know, if you have snow today, you don't know if it'll really be there tomorrow because it could rain and it's all gone when you're planning the snow. So take pictures when the snow is there. But that was really fun. Now it was quiet. When we first did this in the room and they were all recording on their own, you would hear everybody else in the background. So we did have to try and figure that out. I've had things in my room where I have like a bell or I have something I ring, quiet on the set, and they know quiet on the set, and just try and be very quiet. It's never going to be perfect, but that is, and you will find that when your classroom is quiet, the school around you is noisy. That's when somebody's screaming outside your window or somebody's on the roof or something noisy is in the hall. So it's never truly quiet. Gotta quit doing that. Okay, here we go. This is one where they just took, we were just studying fables, and I printed all the fables out. They didn't write these, they were practicing reading, so this is more of a reading activity. So they read the fable, they created the characters and chose the background in Puppet Pals, and then they acted them out. And let's see. And there's all different, they use the background there. I think I posted some of them a couple times because I put it on each child's blog. They were in groups of two and three. So they would have to practice reading it. Okay, that one doesn't want to go. There we go.
The Crow and the Pitcher. It was a sweltering hot summer day.
So they're reading a script that's been pre-written.
Taking a nap when he woke. He wanted a drink of water, so he decided to take a drink and see if he
They don't always get the idea of moving it while they're talking.
He walked and walked and walked and walked until he came upon a pitcher of water. But the pitcher was only half full. The crow leaned and stretched and thrust out his beak as far as he could.
Okay, and that's just another, that was more the artwork. They created the characters, they practiced reading aloud. And then this is one where they wrote, we did do a fairy tale unit comparing, oh, I guess I have to go down. I think I have it here. Do I have fairy tales? No? Oh, there we go. Well, this is actually funny. We studied, read 3 or 4 different fairy tales. We talked about the people in Little Red Riding Hood. They were going to write a story about Little Red Riding Hood. We're a Catholic school. I get the first versions of the story. Their version of Little Red Riding Hood had Mary and Joseph and the baby Jesus on a donkey, and there was something else. And so we kind of went back to the drawing board and, you know, specific characters, you know, we need somebody who's your Red Riding Hood, we need somebody who's the, so then they kind of got the idea. We have Little Red Walking Hood, and then, let me go to another page. Pretty Pink Penny, so then they started to get the idea. And they were in groups of 2 or 3, and you know, with doing any kind of group work, about most of the groups were perfect. Then of course there's the one group that doesn't get along the whole time. But for the most part, they did a good job. They made the characters, they wrote the script.
Pretty Pink Penny by Emerson, Jaden, and Jeremiah. Once upon a time in a big city, Penny lived with her aunt. Penny always wore pink and was called Pretty Pink Penny by everyone who knew her. One day, her aunt gave her a basket of chocolate cakes and told her to take it to her cousin's.
Not the most exciting animation, but they enjoy it.
Remember not to talk to strangers.
All right, and I won't play the whole thing. But that's another example. In fact, I will give ICE credit because it was 2 years ago at ICE that someone showed me the Puppet Pals app, and then I took that back to the classroom, and that way they could make characters. That one has been a fun one to play with. Any questions, comments, anything to share that you have used any of these? All right, and I think I still have a little time. Here are some examples with, do that every time, with iMovie. Obviously, again, at Thanksgiving. This was a project, I think, with 4th or 5th grade, and they did have to write things they were thankful for. They used safe search images in the computer lab. I had links for where they could find safe, I don't know if we really were copyright free, it should have been, but safe images that they could use to put into iMovie. Then of course they add the title, the music, the transitions.
Bless us, O Lord, for these thy gifts. I am thankful for nature because if we did not have it, we would go hungry.
And so they added the words and they narrated it.
Because I love them and they love me back. I am grateful for my family because they love me and they care for me and make me feel happy. Feel blessed to have God because I can talk to him about my worries and thank him. I am happy to have shelter because it keeps me safe.
Sorry, a lot of my examples being the Catholic school and the computer lab, I tend to, you know, tie the religion in there. But, you know, you can do this with any subject. Let's see. So that was the thankful. This was a bigger project with 3rd grade, and this is when I worked in collaboration with the 3rd grade teacher, and this was animal reports. And I think I've heard in 2 or 3 sessions people have their kids doing animal reports. So again, they did the research in the lab, they did the writing in the classroom, and I had those safe searches for them, and then they found images, Discovery Ed and other safe places that they can go. And then, and this was a bigger project. We didn't repeat it the next year. It took a lot of time, and then to record in the lab and get them all quiet is a big deal.
My animal is a tiger. They are part of the cat family. The tiger is the largest of the cat family. They can get to 9 feet long and can weigh over 600 pounds. Tigers have black and orange stripes. Did you know no 2 tigers have the same striped pattern?
So she just found pictures of, and some of the kids have difficulty with their animal. Help them find pictures.
Lots of prey. Tigers mark their territory by using urine and scrap. When they reach 2 to 3 years old, they leave the den to live on their own. They can swim up.
And that's 1 minute and 35 seconds. And then it's often easier to play now that video in class for everyone to see than to have that child giving that report. And they can also go and listen to each other's on the blog, and they can leave comments. And then, this is one more app. I have a couple minutes, I think. This is the Shadow Puppet app. This one is free. This is even easier. You take the app, you take pictures of what you want your pages to be. So it can be a picture they've drawn, it can be pictures of items, it can be pictures of kids, whatever you can upload in. And then here's an example of 1st grade. they, actually I saw these in the hall. They did the My Name is Alice book, and they all had written a page, and so I said, well, give those to me. I'll take a picture and I'll record, and I can bring whoever the first child's picture up, walk over to them, push record on the mic, that child records. And then I push pause, I go to the next child, go to their picture, push record. And so then I have a little class book.
My name is Elena, and I like it.
See, my name is Kalia and I like cake.
See, my name is Katana and I like class.
See, my name is Elena and I like elephants.
And so that's another easy way, easy app. And here's one I did. It is one more religion thing, but this is adorable. The preschoolers did these creation books. And so I got big kids to help me. I took pictures of, so here's Cameron. I took the pictures of her 7 days, put it in the app, and then had big kids go down and with one-on-one with the kids. And then you've got...
And what's next? You have it in your Starway, day and night. Starway, science sea. Starway, 1,000 degrees. Starway, science sun. Starway, emerald fire. Starway, realm in there.
Can you go?
Star, west.
did. That is just so cute. And that was beautiful. So, you know, with a little help of the big kids recording. And then I do have a blog set up for the preschoolers. And so I was able to put each of those on. And then the parents can go and listen to that. But that was, it's adorable to get their little voices. And in fact, I found a movie. It's our present 5th grade. I found a movie that I helped their preschool teacher make back when they were preschool, talking about dinosaurs with the wisps and everything. So I'm going to bring that back out. But this will be fun for these kids too. You know, in 3 or 4 years, they can go back and listen to themselves and see what they did. And then the other one where it's just one student, my class, again, religion again, sorry. We illustrated the Lord's Prayer each, and you could do this with a story where they're each doing a sentence of it, and then I put them all together, but then I had them read the prayer one at a time. So this just happens to be Dylan saying the prayer as each page goes by. And it can be any kind of story.
Thy kingdom come, thy will be done.
So that shadow puppet, and that's just a really easy, quick. When you create your account and you save it, you have it email a link to you, and then I'll just go in my email and it gives me that embed code. And embed code is just something you copy and you paste onto the blog. And I am very reachable. I would love to answer any questions. Oh, here's a, whoops, of course I do this again. Okay, this one right here is just, I use Shadow Puppet. We were actually tinkering one day. Seriously, I can figure this out. Come on. We were tinkering in the lab, and so I took pictures.
I'm walking with sockets and I made a buzzer.
So I had each of the kids talk about what they were
We're
doing.
making an alarm clock circuit.
I am making a flying machine. I am making a story on Storybird.
My story is about wolves. We're making a nerd project and with beads and everything. Yeah, and it's really fun.
I am making a flower out of these popsicle sticks and these cotton balls and some pipe cleaner.
I'm making a house with pom-poms.
I'm making a house with popsicle sticks, pipe cleaners, and cotton balls.
So that's one of our, we certainly have not jumped into the maker movement like I wish and you know, baby steps, but that was one time where I did kind of let them all pick, and we have snap circuits and we have some other circuits, so we had things, and so I just took pictures of the kids, and then I came around with the app and had them tell me what they were doing in the picture. So that was a real easy way to just kind of share what we were doing in the classroom that day. Safe image searches, I use Discovery Ed. You do need accounts for that. Picks for Learning, edupick.net. There are a couple others. And then I think, oh no, not My Story. I've used that in the past, but not lately. But Puppet Pals, Telegami has some issues, so I don't know if, because you have to pay for a updated version. You used to be able to do a lot more with it. I think my time is up. Does anyone have any questions or comments or anything else you would like to see? My email, I don't know if I have it on there. I'll see if I put a slide at the end. Oh, yes, I did. Harju.wikispaces is, oh no, that's an old one. ststech.wikispaces. You'll see old things at harju.wikispaces. That's one of my wikis from before, but this is what I use now in the tech lab. So you can kind of see what we're doing with the kids. There's links to all the classroom blogs. And this is my Gmail, harju.patti@gmail. I'm happy to answer questions because I didn't, when you don't know what you don't know, and there was a time I was the one asking those questions and somebody answered my email and helped me out. I'm also Scout7 on Twitter. I got my account back in the day when everybody had different names. I would have gone with my real name now, but you can still find me with Patti Harju on Twitter. So if you have any questions, come on up or let me know, but I'll dismiss you then, as we should. So thank you very much.